right, get some nice coals. Transfer them over here to the cooking station. Kind of have it on a pedestal so it's not too direct heat. It's more temperature control. I'll put some coals down there in that triangle and around and on top of the lid, but I feel like that the putting it on the fire pit might just be a little bit too hot since this thing is cooking, so I figured I'll just keep the logs going. That way I have a good supply of coals.
It's Taylor here from the inside. I'm making the drop biscuit dough so we can have that to go outside in the Dutch oven. Obviously, if you're camping, you'll just be mixing this outside, but I'm choosing to do that in here today because we're not today. So I have about 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour and then some salt. So probably like a teaspoon or so of salt, maybe a teaspoon and a half, and a tablespoon of baking powder. So I whisk that all together, and then you could just keep your butter in a cooler over ice to keep it really cold. I don't stick mine in the freezer. I just take it straight out of the fridge, cut it up, and then I cut it into little cubes, and I use a pastry cutter to get it in there, but you could just use your hands. It's really not a big deal, but with your hands it will warm up the butter faster. So I suggest maybe using like a fork or something to kind of cut through to make it into like little pebble size as you cut it into the flour. So I'm going to do that next, and then I'm going to add the milk, and then we'll be rocking and rolling to take it outside. Okay, I have got the butter in here, and I'm just going to cut it into the flour, and I'll do that until we have like pea size butter throughout the whole thing. It's not anything crazy specific or difficult. You just want to kind of mix it. It's really, I don't have my tripod, so I'm holding this while doing this, but I'm going to mash this up, cut it into there, and then I will show you when it's done. Okay, now that it's done, we got them cut up pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect. It being cold, the butter being cold is going to be your key to having it really flaky. So you want to make sure it's at least somewhat cold or over ice in your cooler. And I'm going to use about 3/4 cup of milk. So I'm just going to pour that in there. I'm not going to use all of it yet. I'm going to reserve just a tiny bit just in case we don't need it. And then I'm going to mix that up. Okay, we have our dough mix. You want it to be completely incorporated, the milk and everything, and have it wet, no dry spots. You want it to be like a good sticky mixture, but nothing too crazy wet and sticky, just to where you can stick your finger in it and it doesn't stick. And we are ready to drop them into the Dutch oven right away. Alex is outside preheating the Dutch oven, so let's go out there and check on him. I'm coming out. Ooh.
Morning. Got hot coals going.
And we got barkers.
Fire supervisor.
We're gonna add the butter. Hi guys. She's wondering why you're hurting all her toys.
Kind of keeping it elevated right off the coals so it doesn't get too much temperature on the bottom. I've done that and it basically burns everything. So I've been using these bricks to kind of keep it off. Then I'll kind of rotate the Dutch oven every so often so it's not concentrated in one hot spot. But I'd say that these biscuits should be about done here soon. Some good heat. All right, it's been what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
We're gonna pop the top to see what this bad boy looks like.
They're getting there. They're getting there. They're firming up. Yeah, they're getting there. Probably 10 more minutes.
Okay, 30-minute biscuits.
They take longer in the Dutch oven anyway.
So basically add a little flour, stir it around until it gets fully dissolved.
Just like coated, and you cook the flour off a couple minutes.
Then we add the milk for the gravy. Biscuits are about done. What'd you think, guy? Huh? Now I'm gonna add a little bit of milk.
Let that cook down till it thickens up.
Boys. Ooh, yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, those are firming up nice and good.
Might only need a
Gosh darn, son of a gun, that's hot.
Yeah, when you stick your bare fingers and inside the Dutch oven.
Hey, I was a former volunteer firefighter.
And then over here, we're letting this kind of bubble up a little bit. We'll stir it so there's no clumps, but we'll let this thicken up over the fire for a couple minutes. That milk cooled it down, so we have to let it heat back up. And then we'll get back to the gravy. Quite excited for that.
Test. Oh yeah, not too brown on the bottom, good consistency. I'm pulling apart. Ooh, that's hot.
Hey, you don't want to do that with your hand, probably. Oh yeah, that's perfect.
That's outdoor cooking at its finest.
Oh yeah.